Hi guys, it's me, Spartalicious. I thought I'd show you quickly how I like to join some of the official servers where you need to kind of stay on the down low, because unofficial you will get wiped. It's just a guarantee. And we even have a term for people who build on the beach, and they are called bobs. Basically, don't be a bob. A bob it's a noob, it's a guy who builds on the beach because he wants to be close to water and all that fun stuff. The only time we ever build on the beach is when you are leveling up, and you never ever put anything there that you can't afford to lose, because you will lose it. It's a guarantee. Likewise, building up a big base is nearly impossible, because you have alpha tribes, and sometimes in an alpha tribe you have a group of people and their job is to fly around and destroy anything with turrets on it, just so that they don't have competition. And they get bored, so they go ahead and just destroy everything. So, if you want to survive on official or on any very aggressive cluster, you need to make sure that you are as hidden as possible, and you don't build anything too big that you can't replace quickly, at least not in the beginning. You need to get to the point where you can farm up turrets, start pushing out tons of bullets, and then you can look at main basing somewhere. So what I've done is I've designed a 2x4, which is pretty easy to build. If you're doing it on your own, it might take like a day. If you're doing it in a group of people, you can get this thing built very quickly. So if it gets found and wiped, no problems, you can just build up yet again. What I've done is I have placed it inside these trees. There are actually two buildings. I'm going to be showing you the very starter one that you can build with just stone tools, basically. And we're going to be hiding it inside trees like this. So it's pretty hard to see. Yeah, I'm going to fly down and show you. There is the metal one that I'll be finishing off and showing you in the next video. But for now, the starter one, and this is very much what I do on official, and most of the time it works, because somebody has to really stumble across it to find it. If they were to look for it, it would take them probably longer to find it than it would for you to actually rebuild it. Yeah, I'll fly up again, and you can see it's very much hidden. It's very, very hard to find this thing. Trust me, I created a new account and it took me a while to find it, even though I knew where it was. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I've got these on here just so if it gets dark you can still see a little bit inside. And we're going to build it, we're going to open up. It's a standard 2x4 structure. We keep the bottom open, and this is for some dino storage. So you can fit 2, maybe 3 pteranodons in here, a couple wolves, maybe a doid or an anki, something like that, just to help you get farming. And all dinos need to be covered, otherwise wild dinos get attracted to it and start eating them. So it's a small area for small dinos that'll help you get going. Then we climb on up to the actual base itself. Here is a main floor. Now what we've done is we have 4 mortar and pestles, because you're going to be wanting to start pushing out gunpowder for bullets and things quite soon. And we have beds here. Now the reason why we have beds here is above us I have our smithy. So this means if you're porting in from another server, you can port in with your inventory full, spawn at this bed, immediately start crafting and storing here, and putting into your smithy up top. We've done the same thing across here for the fabricator. We've got the fabricator above us. It saves a bit of space, lets us spawn. We can access all of the mortar and pestles, and we can access storage boxes all from one place. So if you've been storing gunpowder and things like that in these boxes, or metal, or whatever the case is, you can stand in one spot, pull the metal and gunpowder, stick it in there, start crafting away, even making your C4, anything like that. We just try to make life as easy as possible by having everything close. And assuming you're going to be more than one person, you need a bit of extra space, otherwise it just feels terrible. Now we have our 4 forges across here. It's not a hell of a lot, but 4 forges running the whole time, it will bring in enough to get your basic weapons, your crossbows, long necks, simple pistols, that sort of thing. So the 4 should, and you will have to keep them running. This is also what you're going to be using to get your charcoal. So don't use spark powder, just keep burning wood and storing charcoal in these boxes across here. Let's go on up another level. Here we go. We can access the smithy from up here, that's below. There is room here to add another smithy if you need a little bit more storage. That's up to you. Then you just use the smithy as a storage box. Fabricator also accessible here. The storage boxes from below are accessible from up here as well. So it makes it nice to be able to pass things through quite easily. Now we have ourselves some, here we go, we have ourselves some preserving bins here, so you can start making your jerky for whatever the case is, or just for storing meats and whatnot. And we have a cooking pot stashed away here. In this corner we have a campfire for making your meat. Remember to turn this off when you log off, and preferably, if you're staying super sneaky, try and keep this off at night as well, because this will give away your location. And over here we have our tap, drinking water. You also use this to go through for when you're making kibble, so it's not too far to keep collecting water. Let's have a look at the roof and show you how the water storage works. Up top on the roof we have more beds. I cannot emphasize the importance of having enough beds. Like, really, it's such a cheap thing to build and makes life so much easier. What we've done is we've just added 2 of these cheaper water tanks. There is actually space to add another one over here, and then possibly one over here as well, because we're using a cross section there. I think it's the water pipe intersection. But this is enough for early on. If you find later on you need more water, just go ahead and add 2 more tanks up here, not a problem. Now we have a couple of these large crop, well, these are medium crop plots. This is so you can start growing rock carrots, which is what you need to make dodo kibble. Dodo kibble will unlock pteranodons, super fast taming of pteranodons, as well as the dolphins. Now they both don't really do a lot of damage or take a lot of damage, but they're super fast and really helpful. If you get yourself a dolphin, you've basically opened up the seas and quick travel through the water. And if you get yourself a pteranodon, you've kind of opened up the rest of the map for yourself as well, at least for scouting. We have several small crop plots here. This is so you can be growing your measure berries, and especially narco berries. You want to start growing those as soon as possible. You'll notice that they are stacked. This is so that you can access several of them in one place, and they take up less room. See, this one is still owned. There we go. So you can access each of them like this, just by scrolling up side on. They take up no room, and the very nice thing about it is that the bottom ones still get water. Even though they're covered by other crop plots, so they're going to grab water. Right, so this is just a quick tour of a simple base to build. I know it's nothing fancy. It's not supposed to be fancy. It's supposed to be usable, where you can build it quickly, and it must be capable of producing explosives, which it most definitely is. I mean, here we've got a fabricator. There's your C4 and all that fun stuff. Smithy for grenades and long necks and so on. Yeah, you got everything you need here in a full base. One person can build this, 2 people can build it very quickly, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't push this more than 3 people at absolute max, just because storage is very limited. You'll find that you'll go ahead and tame some dodos and keep them here for eggs. Use the dodos to store things like berries and whatnot, because they do actually increase the spoil time on berries and meat, so you'll end up using dodos for a fair bit of that sort of storage. Yeah, like I said, this thing is pretty difficult to find, and even if they wipe it, it's no big deal. In an upcoming video, I'll show you how to hide and stash your storage. And I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, we just go ahead and hide it in some reeds under the water. That is a stupid idea, and I will tell you why.